Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different twists and turns, as well as surprises in this film by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one aspect of Episode 9 that a lot of people are very curious about is, of course, the character of Darth Sidious, also known as Emperor Palpatine. You know, I believe that ever since we heard about the laughter of Emperor Palpatine in the teaser trailer just 1 month ago, it really left a lot of people asking numerous questions as to exactly what it all really means, and exactly how is Ian McDiarmid back as Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film. And when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for this movie. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing is that a description of both Rey and Kylo Ren facing the new foe in the middle of a thunderstorm with downpouring rain, where it's described that the Dark Acolyte takes off his cloak, where he is now in a black outfit. It's described that as Rey and Kylo face the foe, they hear the laughter of Emperor Palpatine. The next describes the Dark Acolyte going down on his knees, where a red transparent cloud of some kind is said to be exiting the Acolyte, where it is now hovering over his back. The red transparent cloud that morphs into abstract shapes is described to be the spirit of Sidious, revealing itself, where the Acolyte now appears to be weakened. It's described to be a moment in which Kylo and Rey are in shock and don't know what to think. The next describes the red and transparent cloud re-entering the body of the Acolyte, also known as Vance, when he is now able to stand up and to the point where he appears to be powerful again and laughing at both Kylo and Rey and force pushing the both of them down a hole in the wreckage that they are standing on. It's implied that this is the Death Star 2 wreckage that Kylo and Rey eventually fall down into, where the Acolyte is said to jump down in there to continue his battle with Kylo and Rey. So I want to go over a couple of parts about all of this, because this to me sounds not only very creepy and something like straight out of The Exorcist, but it also sounds like something that we would expect to see in this movie, since J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio are borrowing tons of material from Legends. And in Legends, we had a thing called Essence Transfer, where Palpatine was basically able to transfer his own energy, his consciousness along with all of that, into a cloned body of himself. Now, in this scenario, it seems like that this is their own take on things, where, yes, Palpatine is back alive and well, but in a very different way, where he's actually using the Dark Acolyte's body as a host and/or a vessel, if you will, in order to live on forever. Now, what's really intriguing to me about all of this is that this is a moment in which, of course, both Rey and Kylo Ren are witnessing Emperor Palpatine for the very first time in their whole entire life, and that this is the character directly responsible, technically speaking, for Kylo Ren. At the end of the day, Kylo Ren turning to the dark side, the whole infancy of it all, really originated from him having too much Darth Vader within him. And Darth Vader was ultimately created by Emperor Palpatine. So when we look at Episode 9, everything is really falling into place here. You can really see how JJ is really trying to interconnect all of the stories into one big epic movie that's really going to connect all of the sagas into one film. So the one piece that I do want to go over is the description of this red transparent cloud that morphs into abstract shapes. Now, this is described to be the visual representation of the spirit of Sidious. Now, this could very well fall directly in line with the abandoned idea for The Last Jedi, where Luke Skywalker actually had a Sith ghost resting over his shoulder inside of his hut. I don't know if you guys saw that in the art book of The Last Jedi, but there was this idea that did not make it to the final cut of the movie, where Luke Skywalker was actually being visited by a Sith ghost of some kind. Now, that in the book could have very well been the setup for Emperor Palpatine, since Kathleen Kennedy and JJ said that of course Palpatine was in the cards ever since The Force Awakens, which I think personally that may be a cover-up. I think that maybe, obviously, Palpatine is being used in order to make up for The Last Jedi backlash, but I digress. Everything going on here seems like it's really taking place on board of the Death Star 2 wreckage. Now, the fact that the Death Star 2 wreckage is a major piece of imagery in the teaser trailer, and the fact that they are fighting on a piece of wreckage in a rainstorm, if you guys go ahead and check out the teaser trailer, you can see that in the distance, it's either a rainstorm or a lot of crashing waves on the actual Death Star 2 wreckage. So in this scenario, we have the Dark Acolyte eventually becoming powerful once again once the red transparent cloud re-enters his body, and he's laughing at the both of them, and Force pushes them down the wreckage. Now, down the wreckage, the fact, that it's down the wreckage, tells us that this most likely is indeed the Death Star 2 wreckage, in the middle of the ocean of whatever world and/or moon this really is. Now, I have a hunch that this is going to be the forest moon of Endor, since on Endor there is, of course, 8% water on that world, and/or moon, if you will, and if they really wanted to, they could visit that side of Endor. So with that being said, guys, one thing I will say is that everything really seems amazing here, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.